Dry eye syndrome, it's actually a common condition. It occurs when the eyes, they don't produce enough tears or when those tears evaporate too quickly. Close to 16 million Americans suffer with that dry eye feeling. And if it's left untreated, it actually can lead to eye damage. Studies have actually shown that dry eye can significantly affect daily activities and even your quality of life. It can lead to discomfort. A lot of people want to go right to eye drops, right? And I would say no.
You're listening to the Visibly Fit Podcast. Hey, I'm your host, Wendie Pett. And every week, I'll give you holistic, practical solutions for everyday issues related to nutrition, healing, functional fitness, and behavior modifications. As a naturopath, fitness expert, and wellness coach for over 20 years, my goal is to empower you to reach for greater health and to rise up to your next level of living in mind, body, and spirit. You were created with greatness in mind. It's time to own it. Are you with me? Then let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to the Visibly Fit Podcast. I'm your host, Wendie Pett, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Hope you're doing amazing today. I kind of want to give a little eye roll to this podcast episode, so I'm going to do that. Here we go. There's a little roll of the eyes right there if you're watching. Yeah, the reason I want to roll my eyes is because it's a good exercise, number one. But number two, we're going to be talking about the eyes, and I don't want you to give me the eye roll, but I want you to know that there are some natural ways to relieve dry eye syndrome if you ever deal with it. I know as we age, especially women, we tend to get drier eyes, and it's for numerous reasons. You know, our hormones are changing, all that wonderful, wonderful stuff. But it's pretty common for women, but it doesn't have to be like the end all be all, right? So dry eye syndrome, it's actually a common condition. It occurs when the eyes, they don't produce enough tears or when those tears evaporate too quickly. I remember my mom actually told me that when I was born, that I would cry and no tears would come out. Can you imagine seeing your brand new baby cry and no tears come streaming down their face? So they actually had to unclog my tear ducts and allow me to cry. So now I can cry on a dime. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you, but I think that's pretty common that happens. But what about when you just don't have the tears? And that is fairly common. It's actually estimated that close to 16 million Americans suffer with that dry eye feeling. And if it's left untreated, it actually can lead to eye damage. Which I know you're probably like, really? Eye damage? Yes. We need the tears in our eyes for proper function of our eye movement. And so there's so many reasons why this happens. But I will say that, you know, most people that deal with dry eye syndrome, DES, are, you know, a little more mature in age, like 60 plus. That's kind of when it all kind of starts to happen. And again, women are more subjected to this mainly because after menopause and hormones are changing, but men can have this as well, right? And there's a lot of different risk factors, you know, just even being on screens a lot. I know when I'm on the computer a lot, or I'm on my phone, or I'm watching a movie or whatever it is, my eyes tend to get a little dry. And so I have to stop. I have to do some exercises, which we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But a lot of times people are also dealing with dry eye syndrome because they take certain medications, all right? Like antihistamines, right? That dry you up. Contact lenses, they can really dry your eyes out. So I don't have glasses or contacts. I think my husband's thinking that maybe I should start to look into maybe some readers, but I think my arms are just getting longer, so we're going to be just fine. But I tease a little bit. But we all need to see where we're at and find out, okay, what's really going on with my eyes? And I can't ignore this anymore. I know I mentioned about my arms getting longer. That has nothing to do with dry eyes, but it does have something to do with vision. And so we're going to talk about that as well, because when you have dry eyes, it can affect your vision. And if you are someone that works in, maybe you work in the outdoors, right? You've got this environmental factors, like it's really windy out, or you're around a lot of smoke, that can really lead to dry eyes. And so I really want to bring this up because, again, I've experienced dry eyes as of late, and it's because I know of my screen time, and I'm adamant about sleeping with the fan on at night. And that can be one of the reasons, too, that eyes become dry. But I just have had several other people mention, yeah, my eyes have been dry. So I just wanted to do this little episode to see if this resonates with you at all, and hopefully it'll help you. But, studies have actually shown that dry eye can significantly affect daily activities and even your quality of life. It can lead to discomfort and like reduce productivity. I know that when my eyes are dry, like at night, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they're almost like glued to my eyelids. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. Like I don't like it at all. But I take action. I make sure that I do something about it when I notice that this is going on. No, I'm not going to stop sleeping with the fan on. I'm going to tell you that one right now. I need the fan. I think my husband would like the fan off, but I like the fan because I don't like to sleep with stale, stagnant air. Okay, that's just me. So I will do other things to ensure that I don't have dry eyes and that that's not happening. A couple things that you can do is just like warm compresses, right? Like that's simple, that's easy. If you just apply like warm compresses to your eyes, it can help stimulate the oil production in the glands that are responsible for those tears, and to give some stability in that tear formation. Like even maybe in the shower, or just, get a wash rag and get it really warm at this, in your bathroom in the sink, and then just put it up on your eyes and just hold it there for a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds or so, and just allow your eyes to relax and allow that compress to really start to, stimulate the glands that will help with that tear flow. And so that's what we really want to do, right? Is to have some natural remedies. That's one of them. Super simple. You might not be getting enough omega-3 fatty acids. So that's something to consider as well. Like, how is your diet? How is your omega-3s? Are you getting in enough, like flax seeds and walnuts? And if you eat fish, are you getting that into your diet, and how often? Because that can really help to improve that tear production. So if you're not getting in enough omega-3s, do that. Or maybe the ratio of your omega-3s to 6s is way off. So you need to increase those omega-3s, and that will start to help with that tear production. So something to consider, right? You might say, well, I supplement with omega-3s. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. But the better way to do it is to get it through your diet, right? That is the best way. So consider how you're eating, and you might need to reevaluate and get on a different track there, okay? And also, like, are you drinking enough water? If you're not staying really hydrated by drinking enough water, it cannot support your overall eye health, because you're going to be dehydrated and your eyes are going to feel that. Maybe when I was, the couple of times I've felt that dry eye thing at night, maybe I've been dehydrated at night. And so the next day I'm fine because I go with my daily routine. But I could have just been dehydrated. So ask yourself, am I drinking enough water? You might have a dry home that you live in. Like maybe you just need a humidifier going on, because that can really help with your dry environment, especially if you live in Nevada or Arizona or something like that, or Colorado, where it's just more of a dry environment, and you need to have a glass of water maybe by your bed so you can drink, because that can really help to prevent that tear evaporation, because again, it's a dry environment, and if you're dehydrated, your eyeballs are going to be dehydrated too. All right. Now, what about just exercises? I know I did that whole eye roll at the beginning of the podcast, and that's a great exercise, rolling your eyes around one way to the other, looking side to side, up and down, just doing blinking exercises. I mean, I think sometimes we're so focused on what we're doing, whether it's with a computer or focused on a movie or whatever it is, but behind a screen, or it could just be just focused on writing or something like that. It may not even be behind a screen, but especially when you're staring at screens, you might be forgetting to blink. Yeah, you're like, deer in headlights, right? Well, your eyes are drying out while you're not blinking. So do some blinking exercises. You might look a little funny, and maybe your coworker might think you're flirting if you're doing lots of blinky blinks, but blink. You need to get that lubrication going in your eyes. And so doing those little blinking exercises, every hour can really help, again, especially if you are involved with spending a lot of time on your screen. Seriously, it can make a big difference. Something else that can really, really benefit you, it's called eye bright. Eye bright is an herb. It's been around since the 1300s. And it's really used to assist all kinds of eye issues, including conjunctivitis, dry eye syndrome, any kind of swollen blood vessels. But it comes from the flower euphrasia. And it's from Europe, but it has been used for hundreds of years. It's not only for eye issues, it's actually been used to treat vertigo and sinus infections, allergies, sore throats, and so much more. But you can actually take it. It's really simple. You can take it in capsule form, or you can drink it as a tea. And this can really help with your eye health. Now, you also want to consider, am I getting enough vitamin A? So are you getting in the proper whole food plant-based kind of diet that you should be ingesting to get in the proper vitamin A opportunities there, from greens to your carrots to all the things, and getting the carotenoids that can really help with that eye health. That makes a big difference. But again, going back to that eye bright herb, I mean, what a name, right? Eye bright. It tells you what it's going to do. It's going to keep your eyes bright, and it's also going to lubricate, help those eyes become more lubricated. So again, eye bright is the name of it. It's a healthy, natural way to help with dry eye. Now, there's another suggestion I have, and it's called Maqui berry. Now, it's Maqui is how you spell it. And Maqui berry extract is really being touted as a natural way to increase that tear production for your eyes by 89% after clinical trials after just 2 months. 89% to really increase that tear production. So if you want to try that, that's a natural remedy as well. A lot of people want to go right to eye drops, right? And I would say no. I mean, unless you're doing a homeopathic eye drop, sure, that's fine. That's going to be natural. But so often these eye drops are just going to cause more damage to your eyes than if you were to use just a homeopathic, drop instead. I think of like anything that says takes the red out, don't use it. Don't. And a lot of times they even start to become kind of addictive. So I would not reach for those eye drops at all. I know they feel good. It feels good in the moment, but long health eye term, long-term eye health, it's not going to do you justice. So just leave that temporary solution to the side and don't use it, and just go for, thinking about your diet, thinking about your water, thinking about, using something like the Maqui berry, or the other things that I mentioned here, the eye bright, that can make a big difference, right? Any kind of way that you can incorporate antioxidants into your diet is going to be beneficial for your eye health. I mentioned vitamin A, but also vitamin C and E that can help support your eye health. So you're going to get that from your dark leafy greens. You're going to get that from a lot of your vegetables, from, bell peppers to your carrots to tomatoes. Like, you're going to get a lot of your eye health support from your food that you're eating. So I highly, highly recommend that you ditch that standard American diet if you're still eating that way, and go all in for whole food plant-based, and it will start to show up in your eye health as well. Now, I also think that it's important to do simple things like, when you go to the spa and they put like nice little cold compresses over your eyes. We talked about warm compresses, but what about the cold compresses? Well, it's relaxing. You close your eyes, they place either cold cucumbers on your eyes or a cold compress. And this actually will help to shrink down those swollen blood vessels, and that will ease that dry eye feeling. So I know with the warm compresses, it's going to stimulate those tears. And with the cold compresses, it's going to ease down those swollen blood vessels and hopefully keep your eyes from feeling so dry. Now, what about, I was talking about eye strain when we're on the computer and that kind of thing. We really should be taking breaks with our eyes. I know I'm guilty of not doing enough focus breaks. I'm not doing enough of the eye exercises. I do them, but not every hour on the hour like I should. I admit it, but we should really be doing 5 to 10 minutes every hour that we're staring into a computer. Okay. So that means I've got, let's see, another 45 minutes. If I'm on the computer, I've got to stop and do at this moment, because we're 15 minutes into this podcast. That means that I need to stop and do an eye break and have like a focus break. And so what does that look like? It means getting away from the computer. It means doing those eye exercises side to side, up, down, all around. And also getting outside and looking along like the horizon, like looking out as far as you can along the horizon, and really just taking a focus break to focus in on one thing that you can see on the horizon that will start to strengthen your eye health. It'll get you into a different way of using your eyes, and it will allow you to be able to come back to the computer with, healthier, stronger eyes to do the work that's ahead. So that is something that I'm going to commit to as I'm sharing this podcast with you, to either setting my alarm when I have a lot of computer work to do, setting my alarm every 30 minutes to an hour to take a break. Because again, I'm probably just like you. I get so caught up into what I'm doing. It's like, oh my goodness, it's been an hour already. I had no idea. But your eyes start to feel it, right? They're like, wow, I'm tired. I don't even know why I'm so tired. And I slept well last night. Why would I be so tired? Well, because we're staring at a computer or a screen, right? So speaking of sleep, saying, yes, I got good sleep last night. Why would my eyes still be tired? But what if you aren't getting ample amounts of rest? That's going to be a big issue with your eye health as well. So making sure that you are getting quality rest is going to help with your eyes. Again, I'm going to go back to drink water, because that is a big piece of the puzzle. Water, and more water. Most of the time, you're just dehydrated and you need to replenish. Now, you might need to even replenish with some electrolytes. I don't know, where you are and what you're doing with your workouts and that kind of thing, but you might literally be dehydrated in that way as well. So being aware of your needs, listening to your body is going to help you take action, so that you're not just sitting there with dry eyes all the time and say, oh man, my eyes are dry, wonder why, and never do anything, because again, that will lead to eye problems. So take action, do something, and figure out what the answer is, right? Again, it could be that fan that you want to have over your on the ceiling going at night while you're sleeping, but you might not be willing, like me, to turn it off. Okay, so if that's a choice, right? So what are you willing to do that could help eliminate or alleviate the problems? So again, it could be just as simple as drinking some water. All right. Well, I hope this kind of brought this dry eye syndrome maybe to your awareness. Maybe you're thinking, yeah, you know what? I have had dry eyes. I've never really thought about it as an issue. I didn't really even realize it could lead to eye problems if I don't get a handle on it. But maybe you're thinking of it differently now. Yeah. Like, okay. Or maybe you've never experienced it, but maybe you will in the future. And now, because you've heard this podcast, you'll say, oh, I know what this is. So now it's an opportunity for me to make sure I've got ample amounts of vitamin A and E and C and am I getting my omega-3s in? Am I drinking my water? All the things, right? It's an opportunity for us to listen to our bodies and then take good care of it. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you. I hope this episode was informative, and maybe you know somebody that has dry eye syndrome and you want to share it with them. Please do. Please share this episode. And if you are kind of new to this podcast, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. And I do hope that you will listen to new episodes as they come out. But golly, we've done over 150 episodes. So there are a lot of episodes you can go back and listen to. I highly recommend you do that if you haven't heard all the episodes before. I've had some incredible guests on, and I've touched on some topics that might be of interest to you. So go back and listen. I hope you do that. All right. And if you're open to it, please give this podcast a rating and a review, and dialogue with me on social media. I totally love that. On YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook. I throw some things on TikTok every now and then, but I'm not a TikTok person. But LinkedIn, I don't know, wherever you are, I'm probably there as well. So reach out to me and I will reach out back to you. All right. Well, blessings. And I hope you are doing fantastic. If you are on a mission to get really healthy and well in all areas of your life, mind, body, spirit, emotions, and you're just saying, I just don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I have the solution for you. If you go to getvisiblyfit.com, we can get started today, and you can join the 7-week Accelerator Visibly Fit program. And I promise you will see incredible results, from weight release to getting off medications if you're on medications, reversing disease. I've seen it time and time again with the hundreds and hundreds of people I've worked with. So if you're ready to get serious, I'm ready to be serious with you and hold your hand and walk you through to the next side, the breakthrough that you've always desired and that you deserve in your health and your well-being. So go there, getvisiblyfit.com, or if you have questions and you want to email me, go for it. I would be more than happy to respond. Email is Wendie@wendiepett.com. All right. God bless you. And thanks so much for tuning into this episode, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.
Well, that's a wrap for today's show. So thank you so much for tuning in. I love spending this time with you. To learn more and get more free resources, just head on over to wendiepett.com. And thank you in advance for sharing this episode and this podcast, following and subscribing, not only to this podcast, but finding me on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, I'm probably there too. Until next week and our next podcast time together, make it a visibly fit day.